Hi guys, today we're going to be making oobleck. So to make oobleck, the materials you're going to need are a mixing container, cornstarch, water, food coloring, a spoon, and a pipette. What you're going to do first is you're going to open your mixing container. Then you're going to open your cornstarch. And you're going to take 4 spoonfuls of your cornstarch and put it into the mixing container. And you want to be very careful because it is kind of a messy ordeal. And put your lid back on your cornstarch. Now, if you're following along on your lab sheet, you'll notice that at this point, you're supposed to record observations for cornstarch, your water, and your food coloring. So here's what your cornstarch looks like. Notice it's a white powder. So you'll take some observations, record for cornstarch. Then here's what your water looks like. Notice it's clear. It's obviously a liquid. Then here's what your food coloring looks like. The one I'm using is green. It's also a liquid. Now that after you've written down observations for all 3 of your original properties, your cornstarch, your water, and your food coloring, we can go on with making the oobleck. But if you haven't yet recorded your observations for cornstarch, water, and food coloring, please do so now before you continue the mixing process. Okay, to make the oobleck, we already have 4 spoonfuls of cornstarch in our mixing container. Now we're going to add 12 pipettes full of water to the mixing container. To add my pipettes full of water, obviously I'm going to use a pipette. I'm going to start by squeezing the pipette bulb, placing it in the water. I'm just going to fill it up all the way and squirt it into the mixing container. I'm going to do this 12 times. Now that I've added 12 pipettes full of water to the mixing container, I'm going to add 3 drops of food coloring. And now that I've added my 3 drops of food coloring, I'm going to take my spoon and I'm going to stir the oobleck. Sometimes this takes a while to stir it because stirring the oobleck can be a little bit frustrating. Because if you put too much pressure right away, it can be hard to stir. So slow, consistent stirring is your key here. And you want to keep stirring until your oobleck is one solid color. Okay, I've got mine about one consistent solid color. So now I'm going to fool around with it a little bit to record my observation. So you'll notice when I poke the oobleck, it feels really hard. But if I swirl it around in the container, it's really liquidy. You see? swirl around in the container, really liquidy. But if I poke it fast, it's very hard. But if I swirl it around, really liquidy, right? So you should be recording these observations on your paper in the Oobleck section of page 2. Okay, and that was how we made Oobleck and what Oobleck looks like.